Greetings, kitties. We got a little bit of playing, doing, watching from the three of us. We have news, and we're going to talk about a little more about Apex and WoW and some Star Wars shit. Let's go.
Hey y'all, welcome into Peanut Butter and Triggered. I'm Scott, joined by
Jace, what's up?
And our new permanent guest thing,
Bacage Burrito.
Jacob. You've heard him once. Welcome back, Jacob.
His name is Jacob Boner, by the way.
Yeah, I go by the Bonernator.
Well, shout out to the Bonernator.
The Dong Lord.
The Dong Lord. We're going to be mostly covering some news today, boys. Talking about current news, including Star Wars, as Jay said earlier, and some other little things. Let's start with the PDW. What are you playing, doing, or watching, Jacob?
Right now, I'm playing 7 days a week, 24/7 Apex Legends, and I've also gotten more champions than anybody in the world. And I'm also watching.
What's a champion?
It's when you win, Scott.
Is that true? Or you just...
No, that's total bullshit. I suck. But I'm also watching Supernatural.
I thought that show ended like in 2002.
No, they're on their last season. They just got renewed, right?
Yeah, I actually watched. They're getting too old, and they have to retire, so they're just ending the season.
Superman's like 85.
And but I've already watched probably 7 or 8 seasons when they were coming out every week. But I stopped, and then now they're doing season 15. And me and my girlfriend just reset, so I'm on season 5 right now.
I can't deal with anything that originally aired on the CW. I can't deal with that network. It's terrible.
I don't even know what that means.
The CW's network that they play those TV shows.
Oh. It's like Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
12-year-old girls.
Charmed.
Okay.
Smallville.
I watched a fuck ton of Buffy the Vampire Slayer too.
Oh, Lord.
Do you watch Arrow?
No, that's gay.
Do you watch Flash?
No.
Do you watch any other CW show?
No.
Like Felicity?
No.
Oh, okay. And he's good. He's good.
Oh, okay.
Gilmore Girls.
Yeah, Gilmore Girls was a CW joint.
No.
Okay, I was waiting for him to say yes, but go on.
I was too. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Jay?
Still on Barry. I'm
I still need to watch that.
Yeah, you definitely do. I'm getting ready to watch the latest season of Game of Thrones. Shout out, I guess. I just restarted the series The Fall with Katie.
What's that? I've never heard of it.
It's a BBC show. It's basically like a crime drama where this lady from the Metropolitan District goes to Belfast, Ireland, and she has to track down a serial killer.
Track down her own serial killer?
She has to track down a serial killer.
Oh, I was gonna say.
Yeah. It's really good.
Who's in it?
Gillian Anderson from X-Files fame.
Who's that?
Scully.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I saw her in X-Files.
And then, that's where you would recognize her. And then some other, dude from the United Kingdom that everybody has a boner for, including Jacob. His name is Jamie Dornan.
Oh, boner for that guy.
Jamie Dornan?
Yeah.
Is he recognizable?
He was in 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh, Lord.
50 Shades of my shit.
Yep, that's the one.
50 Shades of Brown.
And then as far as video games and stuff, I'm still on Blades.
Yeah,
it's still good.
Still good after.
I'm getting a little bored of it though.
Really? Well, it's the betas too, so.
Yeah, and it's actually they've released a few different patches for it, making the loot chests open in a short amount of time now. So.
Well, yeah, I saw that it was an hour or something.
Yeah, it used to be 6 hours for the gold ones, 3 for the silver ones, and 5 seconds for
the guy I was watching had 30 of them, and he's like, dude, yeah, this is going to take forever.
Yeah. Aside from that, that's it, actually. I haven't seen anything else. Oh, Twilight Zone's still really good.
Oh, yeah, I need to catch up on that.
Yeah.
Is that the vampires?
No, that's, yeah, lean up on your mic there, bud.
Is that about the vampires?
Rookie. Yeah. Podcast rookie.
It's not about the vampires. You're thinking of the movies and the books Twilight. Twilight Zone is a reboot.
Or as I like to call them, Twiglicked.
Yeah. It's the reboot of the 1960s anthology series. Jordan Peele is the host and producer of it. It's on CBS All Access.
It's like literally the only actor you're probably going to say in this entire podcast that I actually know.
Oh, that's
He
great.
knows a lot of like weird actors. He's like a good with actors.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. It actually scares me. He's like, so, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, the fuck? I don't know any of these guys. Yeah.
He's like IMDb.
Jacob, quit hating.
Okay.
No, but that's it. What about you, Scotty?
I actually started playing a little PUBG Mobile just for funs here.
Oh,
every day.
yeah.
And PUBG Regular on the PC. It just reminds me how truly terrible I am at BRs and how frustrating it is. I'll drop like 6 times and get like 2 kills, but then I go play Battlefield and I'll be number 1 every single round. So like, I don't know, I'm good at that, but I'm bad at BR. If I do Battlefield BR, I'm bad at that too. So I don't know if I just get excited or what it is, or I don't know. I'm terrible at BR.
You just go like full Leroy Jenkins?
Yeah, probably. And I'm good at defending like objectives and stuff, which there aren't really a ton of objectives in any BR.
I was going to say, I have never played the Battle Royale for Battlefield, but...
There are some objectives where you drop in and you have to hold the point for a certain amount of time, and then if you get it, it drops like level 3 loot. But you're
cool.
on the map, so like people see that you're capturing it, so they'll know you're there. The other thing is, we talked about this last week, but you can actually capture like silo-looking things, and if you have to actually hold down the button and it opens a big huge door, and there's 2 doors, and then you can drive a tank out. But as soon as you start opening it, an alarm sounds, so people can come and know you're opening a door. So it's really sketch, and there's objectives like that. But I like playing not the single player, but the objective-based gameplay of the regular multiplayer. And the last thing I'm watching is Game of Thrones, catching up. And I'm listening to a really good book, actually. It's really interesting. It's from the same people who make Ready Player One, or same guy who wrote Ready Player One. It's called Armada. And it's about these all these kids who play this world famous game called Armada. Like everyone plays it. And it's literally a space flight simulator where you like do missions to blow up these drones and stuff. Well, one day this kid is in school and like all of a sudden one of the ships from the game arrives in front of this in front of his school. Excuse me. That was weird, huh?
Yeah.
In front of his school. And it turns out that basically, like in the 70s, the government found out that there is an alien race that was going to destroy the Earth. And as opposed to trying to train the populace, they just pushed popular culture to like alien movies and games. And then they actually created basically a flight sim to actually train people to fly the drones that are real. So this kid's like one of the best in the world at this video game, and it just so happens that he'll have to actually fight real drones using...
When did this come out?
I want to say like 7 or 8 years ago.
I you know what? I do remember something like that. Jacob, your mother was telling me a little bit about that.
Yeah, my mom unfortunately passed away last week, and it's nice of you to bring that up. Thank you.
Well, it was 7, 8 years ago, right?
Yeah.
So before she passed.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
She passed like every other week.
She passes by.
But yeah, that has been surprisingly good. He basically flies to the moon, and everything he sees in real life was part of the game. So he's like, it's like deja vu for him, and he's like right at home when he goes to fight the drones, which is kind of cool. So that one's been enjoyable so far, and I think that's pretty much all I've been doing. Just listening to that to and fro work, you know.
To and fro.
To and fro, sire.
All right. Well, what's on the agenda for news?
We have a little bit of news, not a ton, at least for this section, general news, if you will. We'll talk a little bit about PUBG. You like that?
Can you give me one more like big lip smack? Yeah, there you go. Thank you.
Imagine if I didn't have the pop filter.
Jacob, now you do one just for funs. Oh, he's getting ready. Wow.
That's pretty good, huh?
Yeah, that was not bad.
PUBG was banned in Nepal because people are getting addicted.
I think it's stupid.
Which again, yeah, that's like one of those things where who gives a fuck if you're addicted? Like, it's your own life. If you want to spend all day on a video game, like, too bad.
So be it.
Yeah, it's your own life.
Yeah.
Same, you know, it's like, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I could see the reason why somebody would want to like ban it. I mean, but then again, like I wouldn't.
I think it's ban a video game. Like, can't people still just play the game?
Yeah, no, I completely 100% agree. Like, I don't think there should be any censorship anywhere, really. But like banning a game is it's a step too far.
Yeah, it's silly.
Yeah,
it's like super conservative and odd.
I still don't even know how you could do that.
Well, they just
Like-
make it so like literally they make that like they'll make the game.
They
The
just
people who
stop
do the
distributing,
game,
right?
yeah,
But, I mean, like,
they can't buy
there's
it.
gonna
You'll still
be
be
a
able to
way
play it. You
around
just have to
it.
jump through hoops.
Yeah,
That's what they want you to do.
that's just stupid. People are gonna play if they're that addicted to the game. They're just gonna jump
like
through the
the
fucking.
10 or 11-year-old might not be able to use like a VPN or have
Well, look at the people who are addicted to certain drugs. They jump through hoops.
Yeah,
I know, but most of them aren't like 10.
Most of them.
Most of them. That's what I said. There are always outliers.
No, I was just emphasizing it. Mostly.
Most.
All right. What else?
PSN's finally allowing you to change your name.
Hey, PlayStation 2005 called. Jesus Christ! When this just happened,
Yeah.
does it destroy any saved game progress?
Yes, it
Oh,
can.
Oh, it can
There's
still.
so
there's
stupid.
a list of games where it doesn't destroy it. It's just the game doesn't recognize who you are anymore, and so it doesn't recognize the name. So yes, there are a list of games that have known issues, and there are a list of games that are like disastrous.
I don't
or
care.
Won't work at all.
I have a dope PSN name anyway.
Well, there's a bunch of people who are like like I saw someone, I think their name was like Pacers Boy, and he changed his name to Pacers Man. He's like, it's been like 8 years. I'm a man now.
what's your PSN name?
Darth Eastwood.
That's so stupid.
Okay. What's yours?
My Steam
Oh,
name
that's so
is
dumb.
Child Support, and my
Child
my
Support.
Xbox name was Climax Panda.
With a really weeaboo picture on your Steam
Yeah,
profile.
it's a picture
What
of
is that?
Naruto.
That was a
Are you, is that a
Yeah,
troll
it actually
Naruto?
is.
Is it a troll Naruto?
You know what's so
It's
Or
funny?
you actually
grown.
like Naruto?
No, I do.
We
Oh,
spent
God.
so much time making fun of Naruto, and then I found out that Jacob likes it. And I was like, oh, this is gonna
Please
be.
tell me you've never done that
Oh
run.
boy!
I actually have a tattoo.
No, you don't.
Yeah, no, I don't.
He got a scrotum tattooed.
Yeah, it says "Believe it."
But you have to batwing it.
When you're late to work, do you run like Naruto?
I just run like Naruto in general. I don't have to be late to anything.
To the bus stop!
So you run faster if you run like Naruto.
When you're having a tense moment, does the camera zoom in on your face with a single bead of sweat on your brow?
Yeah, and I go Ikazu.
Have you ever quoted Naruto during a session of lovemaking?
So, no, but that would actually be awesome. This is gonna sound so weeb. I actually have like a bunch of just Naruto stuff in my house. Like
I thought he was
have,
going to say I have a bunch of Naruto porn.
no,
Oh, that'd be really weeb.
not that I don't talk about that publicly. I have like the headband. I got the Akatsuki robe. You don't even know.
You know I'm actually Japanese.
No, you're not.
Yeah, he is.
Swear to God.
Look at his eyes and tell me he's not
25% Japanese. No
You know
joke.
I'm Indonesian.
No, you're not.
No.
My stepdad is.
Oh, come on.
Oh.
My grandma's name was Toshi Fuguyama.
Oh.
My grandfather's name is Marco Petrich.
Wow. But yeah, anyway, continuing on. Lastly, Horizon Zero Dawn, the actress who plays the girl accidentally leaked the fact that they're making a second game. Not huge news, but kind of interesting. It's basically impossible to get a game out without leaking it in some way.
I thought you were about to say something else because I accidentally just leaked.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Just go, man.
Just go. Well, that sure is warm. Go on.
But that's all I have for, well, at least that part of the news. I know we wanted to talk a little bit about Apex and World of Warcraft
Wait.
news.
There's one bit of news that you totally forgot about.
What's that?
So, for all you fans of Battle Royales out there, there's this event that's going to be happening pretty damn soon. There's this bored millionaire that's funding this real-life Battle Royale complete with, like, a private island, a complete arsenal of airsoft guns. It's called Hush Hush. So if anybody out there is interested and thinks that they can actually do a splendid job at a real-life Battle Royale, go for it. Check it out. I think it's so bizarre, but if I were like totally into it, I would definitely go for it.
It'd be fun to do, like, if they did it, like, weekly or something.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's going to take a lot of money. But everything's, like, fully paid for. They are even having, like, they're having a bunch of the people that they do end up picking design the maps. Obviously, you're not going to be participating in, because there's going to be several different maps. They're not going to have people that design the map, participating in their own map.
That's stupid.
Why? Then you would have such an advantage.
Oh yeah.
The hardest thing is The hardest thing is like I used to airsoft. I airsoft for 5 years.
I can tell.
I actually used to airsoft too.
And one of the problems is people not calling their hits.
No, it has pressure sensitive plates.
Oh wow! So
yeah, it's full on.
Oh.
Like you cannot cheat.
They're not doing like balloons.
Nope, it's
balloons.
pressure sensitive plating.
It's like Mario Kart.
Dude, the Mr. Beast one was like Mario Kart. They all had 3 balloons. Dude, there's like literally in the video, people would like turn and there'd be like a branch that would pop one of their balloons or something. They're like, they're just
You're hit.
luck.
You're screwed.
Yeah, literally, they're
You're
just
fired.
they're pretty funny videos from that Mr. Beast clip.
I like Mr. Beast.
Evan,
He's like the most YouTube person I watch.
yeah, except for I don't know, he like the money he spends isn't his own money, and so I know a lot of people give him shit. They're like, dude, there's no way you're doing that.
Who
But
cares?
yeah, I know. Well, he's not spending his own money, so I could see like why he'd make these huge videos.
It's like hundreds of. He said he was spending like $500,000 a video at one point.
That's probably a lot.
That's what he said.
No, that's not true.
That's what he said. You can't. It's Mr. Beast. Who else is gonna tell
He
you?
doesn't. Okay.
Scott, do you believe everything that somebody tells you?
If it's on the internet, it's true, Bubs.
Okay. Anyways, so that's the bit of the
was
news that
good
I
news.
wanted to share.
That sounds fun.
Kind of cool.
Uh,
Kind of neat.
any Apex/World of Warcraft news?
I have a lot of World of Warcraft news. I don't know if
Let's hear it.
Did you guys in one of the pods talk about the Classic WoW coming
No.
out?
Yeah, we did. I thought that they're re-releasing World of Warcraft Vanilla. Apparently, we did it.
Well, I don't know if anybody like really is like a super WoW head like me, but I started playing like end of vanilla, and I've played up to current, which I still play, and they're re-releasing the old servers, and it's just funny to like not funny, but
No, it's
a
funny.
lot of the progression that they've released. Like all the old WoW players are like, that's not how it used to be, and they literally will go back into the data books, and then they post every week about like updates and stuff, and they're like, no, that's exactly how it was. But a new update that they just released was it was for all PvP content, and they're going to be releasing like it's called Rank 14 gear, which is probably going to mess up. It's going to really impact the game because the Rank 14 gear is like end game content gear, and they're going to be releasing the new content in stages. So basically, if you get
Is it new old content?
it's new, yeah, it's new.
Isn't that funny?
content.
So you can either play World of Warcraft today, or you can play on the servers that are 10 years earlier, and eventually they'll catch up. In 10 years, you'll be playing
No,
today's
they're
World
not,
of Warcraft.
they're not gonna do that. But the argument is classic WoW and current WoW, retail WoW are two very different games, which they are. They're like right now, I could run into a mob 10 levels higher than me of like 15, 20 people, and I could kill them all. Where if you run into a mob that's the same level as you, if you have 3 or more, you're probably dead.
Oh, in the old one?
In the old one, yeah. So it's a very
Completely differently
game.
balanced?
Yeah, it's kind of unbalanced in a way. I don't know how to. There's so many levels now that you can't make it like it used to be.
How many levels are there now?
120, and retail or classic there was 60.
That's double.
Yeah. So, but I'm excited for it.
Well, what, you have to rebuy it, or is it just free?
I think there's.
If you already own it,
I think there's a monthly subscription.
A separate
to it,
one?
But I don't give a shit. I'm gonna pay.
Double up on a
I'll
World
pay
of Warcraft.
$1,000 a month to play retail classic WoW.
I'll let you play World of Warcraft Classic for $1,000 bucks.
But Apex Legends, I don't know. They haven't had too many updates, but I honestly think it's the best rail that's come out so far.
I did
Better than
see,
Battlefield.
something I didn't know because I haven't played it much, is that you can revive friends.
Yeah, they were like the first people to implement that too, and now it's in Fortnite.
Yeah, and people were talking about how it should be in Battlefield as well.
I think it's smart because I don't know when you played.
You
a
die
lot
at the
PUBG.
beginning of the game and you're with the crew. It's like, okay, shit, for the next probably 20 or 30 minutes, either you're spectating your friends play, or you leave and, I don't know, you alt-tab and go fuck around on the internet or something.
Or your friends are just like, oh, well, I guess I'll leave too.
I guess, or they'll play more, like, quicker and run into villages
Yeah,
and
it's
shit.
just stupid. It literally, it's so refreshing because you could be in a gunfight with 5 or 6 people, and because you have abilities, like there's a character named Octane where he injects himself and he runs at like super speed. And if you can use one of those abilities to get your teammates banner, and you can revive them you can only revive once per beacon, but the big implement that they added to it takes, when you respawn, it takes time for the ship to come revive you.
And when they land, they have nothing too. So.
Yeah, and it's very obvious when somebody's respawning, so it's not like
There's some like balance to it. You're
Yeah.
not just responding.
dude, that game is just so well
They're
made.
killing it. Respawn Entertainment, man. They're
Yeah.
killing it. Which do you have anything else about that?
No, that's about it.
I think this is a good time just because we're talking about Respawn Entertainment. Respawn Entertainment are also the people making the new Star Wars video game, which is cool.
Yeah. I'm super amped on that because it's going to be fun. I think it's like reminiscent of like The Force Unleashed.
Yeah, it's a single-player only game, apparently.
Yeah.
So here's some of the leaks about the new Star Wars game. The Star Wars game's called Jedi Fallen Order, which are cool. Jedis are always cool.
Yeah.
Well, there aren't a ton of games, you know?
Well, and then I think the other big part about this is like you sent me something. It was a Reddit post or something like that where they were saying that this whole thing is going to be canon, whereas like Force Unleashed wasn't canon at all. It was, and then it wasn't. And then,
later it wasn't.
Yeah, they like to do that. They did that with the books and everything too. Those were originally canon.
Because eventually you can't fit it into canon anymore. Like,
but it's the books were almost like the movies.
Yeah,
those movies are based. The new movies are based off of the books.
Well, I'm excited for that. Apparently they're going to release a trailer soon.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. But some of the things that this Reddit post says is your backpack's a companion droid. The gameplay is compared to Dark Souls. Being good at parry, like Sekiro, will help because you will feel like a Jedi. You can go planet to planet. You can wall run, and there's parkour. It says it will aesthetically resemble Rogue One and Solo, while having some of the prequels' flares, whatever that means.
Meaning that like a lot of like the town scenes in like Rogue One are going to be really similar to the game, or like in some of the prequels, I think that they're going to have like the cities modeled after those.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Same thing with like the planets and stuff, and maybe even travel. Give
me Darth Maul. Give me Mace Windu. That's what I care about.
Yeah, dude. Like, and we'll probably get to this in depth a little bit more. But like, the new movies teaser trailer just came out. Apparently, the Emperor is not dead.
Exactly. Yeah. At the end of the trailer, you hear the Emperor's laugh, which is like the big reveal in that trailer.
Well,
pisses me off.
Shut up. Are you serious?
He's dead.
He's not
he
dead,
needs to
dude.
Stay dead.
We'll get into that.
Darth Maul survived. Dude, we saw that. The same throw.
I cannot stand movies where people die and then
they
5 episodes later they're alive. I'm just
Bro, it's been like
there's no
50
body,
years.
he's not dead. No, if there's no body, there's no proof.
Darth Maul is the best thing about the prequels, and I'm glad he's alive. Let me tell you that.
He was alive up until right before A New Hope, according to canon.
He got cut in half.
Yeah, so?
He's alive, and in Solo, he was there.
He should be dead.
No.
He's not.
Anybody that gets cut in half should be dead.
There are people who live with only half a body. But
the Maul race,
watch TLC.
They can't live with half a body.
Yeah, they can.
No, they can't.
Proven that they can.
Nope.
You saw a P-tube.
I actually haven't watched anything about his race. I know they have like the cartoon series about it, but yeah. Actually, he has a pretty dope story. I watched like the ending of his story. Yeah.
Yeah, super dope. Darth Maul is interesting because he fights based on rage. And the longer he fights you, the more upset he gets that he hasn't killed you yet. So his power actually grows because he's getting more and more pissed off as you defend and stuff. So that's kind of cool.
There are a lot of, there's at least one really cool fan-made movie about it, about like just his fighting style, and it was like a fan-made prequel to even a Phantom Menace, to how he becomes a Sith apprentice. It was really well done. The fighting, the whole choreography of the fighting was really well done. Special effects were really well done, considering it was a fan film. You know,
Darth Maul is the coolest.
Watch yourself, bud.
Sith.
Oh,
I think out there.
No, that's not true.
Who's cooler?
Darth Vader is cooler.
No, I don't think so.
Who do you think, Jacob?
I think Darth Vader before the suit.
Anakin?
No, he's Darth Vader.
You mean like for the 35 minutes in the third film?
Yeah.
He's
when
lame. He's crying.
He
I have the high ground, Anakin.
He killed everybody that was in that little lava place, and then he got his ass kicked by Obi-Wan Kenobi.
So he basically killed a bunch of innocent people, and then when he actually ran into a Jedi,
they
he got
weren't
his ass
innocent.
beat.
They were allied with the Sith. They deserved to die.
They weren't.
Apparently, there's somebody leaked this, and I can't remember where I found it. It must have been on Reddit, but somebody said something along the lines of one of the Padawans that Anakin was supposed to have killed is most likely going to be the main subject Yeah, of the,
Oh my
of
god,
the new video game.
so dope.
That would be dope.
Yeah, it would be awesome, and that explains why it would be canon too.
Yeah.
So, and it's not explained who this Padawan is, but like whoever it is, like obviously you're going to be able to. I would hope that you would be able to customize this new Jedi.
You can't.
Or Sith. You can't. It's going to be a fixed.
It's a fixed male protagonist.
Big time.
I don't think so.
Screw up.
I don't think so.
Why?
Because games we've
What
seen.
if there's a woman out there that wants a female Jedi?
Well, then she can go play Star Wars Galaxies. There's plenty of stuff so listen, the best games right now are games where they've created their own protagonists. God of War, The Last of Us, the Sekiro.
Those are just your favorite games.
Those are really highly rated games.
Yeah, that's true.
Uncharted, like they're games where they're building a story, and you can have a much better story if the person is actually like made by the developer. I get where you're coming from though. Like you want to be a woman, go play Battlefield. Like you can be a woman on that.
Sure.
I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of men who play.
No, I get it. You're sexist. That's cool.
Ouch. Dude, it's 2019. Girls can do shit.
Yeah, come on, Scott. I thought you were only a Nazi, not a sexist Nazi.
God.
I saw this a comedian who said if women can do anything a man can, why haven't they oppressed the whole gender? I was like, wow, it's true.
Yeah. Well, if all of like the stuff about the video game mixed with the movie and all that stuff is true, I think that this is like set to be like a really good game.
Yeah.
Not on like the grounds of like a Battlefront. Battlefront it did many things wrong. Although it's not a bad game, I just think that they did so many things wrong that people just can't say that it's a great game.
Battlefront was the best game.
Okay. It actually wasn't.
It's one of the worst.
That was my childhood.
What?
No, he's talking about Battlefront 2.
No, 1 and 2.
How old are you?
22.
You're talking about the old Battlefront.
Yeah, the one on Xbox.
Oh,
Yeah.
no. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the one on current gen consoles.
Do you know how long it took me to kill a Jedi in Star Wars Battlefront on Xbox?
No.
Like 30 minutes. It was hard.
I think, too, this is being directed by the same guy who directed God of War. The new God of War, and that was a really good game, too. So, I don't know. I'm all around excited for it. It's got some solid studios. Obviously, Respawn Entertainment has done well. They created Titanfall, which was a super underrated FPS, and obviously it was so when they created Apex, which is also, like, shot up into the top, you know? Shroud plays that shit all the time.
Dude, he even admits it's the best battle royale he's played.
Shroud don't fuck around. I ever tell you about the time I got to play with Team Solo Mid? Shout out to me.
No.
Yeah, I got to play at PAX West. I got to play with Team Solo Mid, game of PUBG.
Did you win?
Nope. Did not. If you win, you got one of the helmets, the level 3 helmets, and then you got the full suite of Logitech stuff. Logitech keyboard, a Logitech mouse, a Logitech headset.
That would have been so cool.
I got 18th of 20.
Oh my god, that sucks.
But the thing is you had to win. You had to win the first game in order to get into the second game. So I won the first game, and then I got to come back and play the second.
Was it
game.
like random queue? Like you just had to join a random game?
No, they actually had a full custom setup game.
That's what I like.
Yeah, and the circle never stopped closing. So like literally, you could see where the circle was going to end, and you had to jump, and you had to. There was like no slowing down. You had to pick up and just move.
I bet people probably just jumped in the end circle. Most of the time.
Yeah. Sometimes they did. But you end up like running out of loot doing it that way.
Hold down the fort. No, dude. See, this is the one thing people forget about Royals. The loot, you don't have to go find the loot. The loot will find you. You just have to kill them.
Yeah, but if you don't have much,
you don't need much to kill somebody.
Well, I'm just saying I won the first game, and the second game it was just he grabbed like a assault rifle, and I grabbed a shotgun, and it was across like a courtyard, and I fired both my shells. But
an assault rifle?
Yeah.
What gun is that?
An assault rifle?
Yeah.
What kind of any assault rifle?
I'm just kidding.
Well, you never heard of assault rifle?
Sorry, is that the thing that you shoot the flies with?
Oh, assault rifle?
Yeah.
Lord. I actually want one of those. Have you seen them?
Yeah, I got shot by one.
Did it hurt?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can put rock salt into a shotgun and do the same thing.
Yeah, I know. Actually, I learned that from Supernatural. That's how you kill ghosts.
Oh,
Shut up.
Lord.
Nope. Well, you don't kill the ghost, but if the ghost is behind you and it's about to stab you,
You're a true weebs. You know that?
What is that? Why do you keep saying that?
He's a weebs.
What is that?
A weeaboo?
Oh,
I don't know what that
It's
is.
a guy that likes anime, but like hentai anime, like
Oh
weird
no,
shit.
that is you.
Dude, I watch. Okay, I watch a fuck
Do you watch
ton of
Bleach?
Anime. No, I've watched Bleach. So
You're like full on into tentacle porn and stuff, right?
100p.
only if it. Yeah, I love tentacle porn actually.
Yeah.
Wow.
So with that out of the way,
So, oh yeah, and in that same kind of thing, Star Wars, we saw the announcement of the movie, which we were just talking a second ago. It's interesting. It's called Skywalker Rises. Which Skywalker Rises?
I'm assuming Luke,
Maybe. Are we going to
or was
finally
it
find out?
Anakin? Who
That's
knows?
actually really smart. I just assumed it was Luke.
Yeah. Is it?
I think a
Anakin?
lot of people did, which is kind of, I would say, the natural sort of thought process. But I mean, with the way that if you think back to, I think it was like Revenge of the Sith, where Anakin and Palpatine are talking to each other about creating life and bringing people back from the dead. This is a perfect a tailor fit storyline to maybe bringing back maybe Anakin Skywalker, maybe Palpatine brings himself back, or maybe Luke Skywalker comes back, or Yoda even comes back. Anybody is,
Leia.
yeah. Well, she's
She's in the movie, so
in the movie, so
She could die and come back.
well,
It could be about her.
sure, yeah.
a lot of people.
She is a Skywalker.
I know,
She's not
See?
the only
Told you.
Skywalker.
I didn't accept the fact that Rey's parents were just some gutter trash people. Like, they gotta be someone big, right?
What if she's of the Palpatine lineage?
That would be dope.
That'd be killer.
Yeah, that would be really cool. They're always so good with their titles. The Last Jedi, and everyone's like, "Oh, there's only one Jedi left." They're like, "Jedi's plural too," so everyone like went back and forth, and there's always argument. And so I like that they do with because it doesn't give away stuff, but kind of gives hints.
Yeah. Well, and then if we break down that trailer too, I mean, it doesn't give really much away at all if you really break it down. Rey is kind of staring down like a desolate desert, and there's a speeder I think it's a
TIE
Kylo
fighter.
Ren, right?
Yeah, it's Kylo Ren's TIE fighter,
Yeah.
but we don't see Kylo Ren in it. We just see hands.
Yeah, and she flips over it.
And does like a really badass Jedi style move.
Yeah, and then you hear Luke say something along the lines of like, "You don't really ever die, or you don't really ever go away," or something like that. And then just as he says that, Palpatine laughs. So again, anybody could come back. Apparently, if I'm reading too much into it, but I think anybody could end up coming back.
Could be any of the Skywalkers.
I want you to be honest. Did you notice all of that from listening to the trailer, or did you watch a YouTube video on somebody who broke down the YouTube or the trailer?
Me and Brent actually talked about it.
I walked around today at work saying, "Hey, you guys watch the new trailer?" There's not a single person where I work that gave a shit about Star Wars.
Really?
So I was like, you guys are all lame. Like, no one's like, "Oh, there's a new Star Wars?" So I never watched it. I'm like, God damn it. There's no one to break it down with.
The only one I didn't watch was, I think it was Rogue One. That was the in-between.
Yeah.
I didn't really care about that. I mean, I watched it, but I didn't really care for it. I was like, oh, that's kind of stupid. Like, we already know what happens.
Well, we saw her too. You asked, was it the Death Star?
Oh,
That
yeah.
was in that picture of her. She like walks up. Was it the Death
Like
Star?
I don't know. It looked like remnants of something that
Yeah.
resembled
Yeah.
the Death Star, but I mean, it's impossible to tell.
Yeah. There's got to be more hints. And then we actually saw Kylo Ren stab someone with one of his little
Yeah,
side sabers.
one of his hilt
Guards or whatever
Did
they
he
call them.
it looked like he just punched him.
I don't think he stabbed him. Do you want to
and
watch
he
it?
repaired his helmet.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Someone repaired it.
Oh yeah, that's true. We don't know who did.
Maybe it was Lord Sidious.
I'm just hoping that we get cooler enemies. We get a cooler storyline because
Well, we saw some sorry to interrupt you, some stormtroopers like flying like really quick.
yeah. Well, I'm just hoping for a better storyline, just from the get go, because I was really let down with The Last Jedi. I thought that the Force Awakens was almost a exact copy of A New Hope.
It
So,
was.
Let's hope for something that's like A+ material, because they've been building up to something and they've really given us shit. Even with Solo and Rogue One, those were awful too.
Solo was better than Rogue One. It was better than I thought it would be, but I still think the main lines are definitely
I
better.
didn't even watch Solo. I thought it was going to be stupid. So I didn't
Well, it
even- I
revealed
didn't
the
take
fact there's
time.
Darth Maul is still alive.
You and everybody else didn't watch Solo. The only part of Solo I did actually watch, so this is really unfair of me to say that I didn't like it. The only part I did watch was the end scene with Darth Maul. Spoiler alert.
Well,
He's in it.
I didn't even know that.
you didn't know? Dude, that's the most badass. I was watching it with my wife, and it came on Netflix. That's why I watched it. Because I was like, oh, it's on Netflix. We'll watch Solo. And then it showed, she's like, oh, my master. And he was sitting there. I was like, oh, shit, it's Darth Maul. Because he's like my favorite
And the rest
Sith
of the
ever.
movie sucked.
The rest of the movie was okay, yeah.
But they're building it up for nothing because if Rebels is canon, then he dies like either a few months or a few years later, right?
Oh, really?
Because Solo leads right up into A New Hope.
Yeah, exactly.
So he dies right before A New Hope, right as Obi-Wan Kenobi goes into hiding in Tatooine.
That's when he dies in Rebels?
Yeah. And he went out like a total bitch, too.
You just don't know what they're going to do. Yeah, I mean, it's possible he comes back. It possibly doesn't. I'm
hoping he does.
Me too. He's like his robotic
Press.
legs. Who?
His brother.
Oh, yeah. Savage Opress.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Darth
He's
Maul's
from Rebels,
brother?
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Darth
He
Maul's
looks like
brother.
a total hard ass, too.
He's dope.
Yeah.
They're both
Him and his
super dope.
brother took on, I don't know if it was canon, but the leader of the Maul race. Because he was like, or maybe
In Rebels?
maybe it was the Sith Lord. Him and his brother. His brother's dead, isn't he? Maybe
I don't know.
I think it was like a cartoon episode. I don't think the cartoons were canon, but him and his brother fought somebody. I can't remember who it was.
They look like total hard asses. They're also really tough. So if they do come back, I think that would be a major fan service.
I do too. At least come back to die in a badass way.
Yeah.
Or-
Go out like total G's.
Or it'd be dope if like Kylo Ren came out and standing there, and then he just got cut in half, and boom, there's Darth Maul, the real Sith, and you're like, oh.
Yeah. I'm sick of Kylo Ren. I'm just gonna put it out there. I'm sick of him.
Yeah,
He's a total baby.
They killed Snoke, and they don't really have a bad guy right now.
Well, it's assumed that he killed Snoke.
Yeah, it was a pretty stupid way he killed him. It was like,
Yeah.
oh, Snoke's dead now? Okay.
Yeah. So, I don't know. You can't really assume anybody's dead now. Which is kind of... I don't know. I kind of get where Jacob's coming from because if they just keep bringing people back, then it's like, okay, well then don't even show me like any images of them like getting taken out because I can't trust it anymore.
So you're gonna like hate me because I'm gonna talk about anime for a second. So there's I'm watching One Piece, and it's about like a pirate and stuff, and it's a lot more than that, but I don't want to get in depth.
Is
with
a
it.
pirate like fly around in a spaceship?
Yeah, it's about space pirates. No, it's about real fucking pirates. Basically everybody that
That's so much cooler.
has fought as the main character. Like this, like irritates me. It's like hard for me to finish the anime is because everybody they fight is quote unquote dead and then comes back to life. And I'm like, they've literally killed one person in like the 900 episodes I've almost watched. It's ridiculous.
Oh my god. How many shows are you actively watching that are anime?
Actively,
Yes.
One Piece,
Bleach,
Fairy Tail. Bleach is over. I wish they continued it, but
Naruto,
Naruto's done.
Last Airbender.
Avatar, yeah. And then I'm watching Black Clover. I think those are like the only 3 I'm really watching right now. But those are like weekly. Like the One Piece ones, I'm still catching
Yeah,
up.
those are total weak.
What channel they come on?
They're on Crunchyroll channel.
Oh Lord,
Not sponsored.
What's Crunchyroll?
It's-
Crunchyroll's like the Netflix of anime.
Yeah, pretty much. But I don't know if you guys I even talked about this in your other podcast. Did you guys ever talk about the Dragon Ball Super movie that came out? I watched
No.
it in theaters. It was actually
Which one
pretty
of us
dope.
do you think would have talked about that?
Ben?
Oh yeah, he's totally into Japanese culture.
No.
Yeah,
But it was the one anime movie I actually took my time to go to the movie theater and watch, and I went by myself, which made me kind of feel uncomfortable because I
haven't
realized
went
Sure, you
to
made
it.
everybody else uncomfortable.
it kind of made me
too.
realize I'm like,
I bet you
fuck,
every
maybe I am a
single
loser.
single person in that theater was probably feeling uncomfortable.
Dude.
Like, oh God, who's going to see me watch this
Dude,
movie?
I'm telling you, if there's any movie I could have gone to and like it had to smell really bad, it was that one, dude.
smells
Everybody
like
smelled
BO.
so bad. I was like, fuck, I don't know if I can watch this. But it was the first time they put Broly, which I'm sure you guys don't know who that is, in canon. They've made like 4 movies of Broly.
It's like PewDiePie's brother, right?
I don't even know who PewDiePie. I didn't even know PewDiePie had a brother. Did you know Mr. Beast has a brother?
I'm not surprised.
Bought him a Lamborghini.
Not surprised.
Wish I had a brother.
Sorry, I keep interrupting you.
I'll be your brother.
But it was just pretty much that movie. It was pretty good and really funny. And I'm just glad that they're actually making him canon. But I didn't know if you guys talked about the movie at all.
No, we haven't.
It's like one of the only Japanese movies that came to America.
Oh dang, missed out.
Yeah.
I know.
Just come over to my house. We can just watch it.
No, I mean, you summed it up pretty well.
I haven't even talked about it at all.
Yeah, you summed it up pretty well.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. All right. You have anything else to say about anime?
No.
I'm not talking to Jay.
Oh, me?
No.
I
looked at Jose.
like
I was like,
you.
yeah, Jose, do you have anything else to say?
No, I summed it up pretty well.
You summed it up pretty well.
Yeah.
So we got two more things on the agenda here.
Oh, nice.
You had a question about GTA RP.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's mostly for you. I just just scrolling through YouTube, and I watched a streamer. His name's Soda Poppin', and like a huge. I don't know if he's running out of content or something, but GTA roleplay is like popping.
It's huge
right
on stream. It's huge right now.
now. The videos are hilarious.
It's a lot of fun, dude. Because the thing is probably like 7 out of 10 interactions you have with people is annoying. It's like people who aren't role playing, and like the whole reason you go on a server like that's to role play. Or people would be, like I was a police officer, you know, so people would be like, "Oh, I'm role playing a street racer." I'm like, "Come on, dude, that's stupid. It's not fun to just chase someone in a car. You can do that in Grand Theft Auto anytime, all the time."
Wasn't there somebody named Pearl? What was her name?
I can't remember her name, but
The prostitute?
She was a prostitute. It's actually a. So it was a man's voice for sure. The avatar
I'm
was definitely
Pearl.
a woman. I can't remember what her name was. Mary Beth or something like that. Yeah, she was crazy. I was a police officer, and I actually in the server I was on, right around, I think it's called Union Square. It's in downtown Los Santos. That's kind of where all the role players always were. Since there are only like 30 to 40 people online at any time, you kind of had to be like in that area if you wanted to actually role play. Otherwise, if you're up north, no one would ever find you. But he would role play a hooker, and he always stood on the corner smoking cigarettes. And you could literally look at people's speed and see how fast they were going and pull them over and all that stuff. So I would post up there and see if people were speeding into Los Santos, because there's kind of like a freeway that comes right off. And she was on the corner, and she was beating people up and saying that she was just literally like, "This is my corner, bitch." And I was like, "Hey, how you doing, Mary Beth?" or whatever her name was. And he's like, "Oh, don't you ask me anything," and just was going in on me. And then I was like, "Listen, you can't be beating people up on the corner." Long story short, she said that she'd suck my dick if I let her go. Like,
I let her.
No. So I gave her a ticket, and she went on her way. And then,
Did you hit your quota?
yeah, I hit it. Actually, we didn't get any of the money. So, not even 10 minutes later, right through the Union Square, speeding like going 3 times the speed limit, was Mary Beth on a stolen moped. So I booked her, sent her to jail, because you literally send them to jail. And then, so that finished up, and so I went back, sat down, like 40 minutes later after she's in jail. She flies through in a stolen news van. So I had to arrest her again. She stole a news van. But it was like so much fun, because she was actually into it. Like, she was staying in character, and I was too. Other people were just like, "Fuck you, man, you're just an admin trying to abuse your powers." You know, that's not fun.
No, you're a cop.
Yeah, I was a
Trying
cop.
to abuse your powers.
I never abused my powers as a cop.
You gave a hooker a ticket.
Yeah, for punching people on the street.
That's fine. It's her corner, bro.
That was called the Great American Role Playing Server, and had a picture of Donald Trump as the server logo.
So it's popping now. Roleplay is
Dude, it's
now
Getting
popping
big on
again?
Twitch. Yeah,
Wow.
look up Sheriff Eli. He's a huge one, and he is this really funny, like, Southern police officer. And he was actually a cop, and so all of his like retorts are really hilarious, and he stays in character no matter what.
Yeah.
And he's really funny to watch.
It's just like funny, like Soda Poppin', who's a World of Warcraft streamer, like watching them play GTA roleplay is just like weird.
What's he
to me.
play? What's he play as in GTRP?
I think he's he's either a cop or he's like a naked dude that like pretty much runs around in his boxers. And then also you probably watch a lot of Twitch. Summit 1G is also playing a lot of roleplay with Soda Poppin', and dude, it's hilarious.
Dude, it's a lot of fun. I had a used car lot for a little bit, and I would sell stolen cars, and we got busted by a bunch of cops. They did this big bust on us and arrested us all. And
Went to jail.
yeah, one time, so you could cook meth in our server, and obviously you got caught with meth, you'd get in trouble. And you cooked meth in an RV, so anytime someone cruised by in an RV, it was like, okay. Why are you cruising by with the RV? So technically, we knew where you cooked meth. Like, there's a certain place on the map. But as role players, we weren't allowed to exploit it unless someone told us that. So I would know where it was, but we weren't allowed just to drive there and arrest people because that's, like, not fun. Like, the whole point is, you're supposed to role play. We don't know. And so if we arrested someone, we'd say, hey, look, we want to know where you guys are like, doing this. And if they told us in role play, then we could actually set up a sting and arrest people. And we had so many funny arrests, dude. People just running full speed in a fucking RV and we're in cop cars.
But you have to like in order to get into that, don't you have to like pretty much devote your a work schedule to
the server I was on. That's why I quit, because they wanted 20 hours a week. Yeah. I was like, dude, I cannot play games. Like, I was already playing too much. Like, I was addicted and I was already playing too much, and 20 hours a week was a lot, especially since, like I said, most of the time you weren't actually role playing. You were just fucking off, driving around. Let me ask you a
question. How did you go from being a used car salesman of stolen cars to an enforcement of law?
It's an interesting story. Actually, so I had this used car lot, right?
I stole a cop car.
And no, I didn't. What happened was we got busted, and I actually talked my way out of it and blamed someone else. Actually, no, I'll tell you what happened. This other dude had a car lot, and I showed up and I said I wanted to work for him just for fun, and so he let me work for him. So I was selling cars, and then that bus went down. And he got arrested, and I blamed him for everything. And so I took up arms at this car dealership, and I claimed it as my own. When he came out of, in the time when he came out of jail, and like when I had the car dealership, I made friends with a biker gang, and I told them that I'd pay them if they protected me. This is like all actually happened. So I had this biker gang protecting me. Literally, you walk into the car dealership, and there's like 6 bikers with like guns. And
this is real.
Yeah, and then the guy came back. And said he wanted his car dealership back, and I told him that I'm the captain now, and I own the car dealership, and if he has any questions, he can talk to the bikers, because I had literally a biker gang behind me. And then he started shooting at me, and I called the police and had him arrested again, and I owned the car dealership from then on. And he would get murdered on sight.
Murdered on sight?
By the bikers. The bikers were always going after him.
It's just like those TV shows that Jose watches where you get murdered and you just come back to life.
And what shows are that?
I mean movies, like Star Wars.
Oh. I watch those too, so. And then the police thought I was a really good guy now, because I took over and started running this establishment as legally. And then I applied for the police force. I went through training. I became an officer, and then like a corporal, and then I quit. Actually, I was part of the police that fly in the helicopter. I don't remember what they called them. But you literally flew over when there was a car chase, and you had I had a whole book that had all the codes. Like a 1050 was like a car running. So I'd pull up. I don't remember I'd be like, hey, we got a 10-8, pulled over, and then you'd actually have to say the intersections because you couldn't see anybody on the map. So I'd tell them the intersection. I'd say, okay, we might need some help. And then I'd be like, it looks like he's revving up. It might be a 1050. And then they'd say, okay, we're sending units.
Did you read the Miranda rights when you arrested?
Yep, 100%. 100%. And I could actually grab them. I had commands to grab them so they couldn't run. They're in handcuffs if I caught them. And I could put them in the back of my car and do everything.
Dude.
Did you all ever have any vice or like undercover or anything like that?
So after I became a cop, the police, the admins explicitly said that I wasn't, they said in the RP, you're not allowed to be a bad cop. I ignored them.
Okay, good.
The bikers, I would run into the bikers all the time, and they knew I was a cop, and they'd say I was a dirty cop. And I would always let the bikers off. And they'd be like, hey, dude, we're making all this money. I'd be like, listen, get out of here. Like, I'm not trying to get in trouble with the police or anything. So, yeah, it was a fun time.
Nice. So, what else do we have on the agenda?
This is our way to close this out, boys. I guess I'll be talking to you, Jay, more than him, since he's never seen Game of Thrones.
I've watched Game of Thrones.
Hey, do yourself a favor. If you haven't watched it and don't feel like watching it, don't watch it.
Yeah, I'll stick to anime.
Yeah, I bet you will.
It's better than anime.
It probably is. But here's the thing. Not that I hate Game of Thrones, because I don't. I'm actually going to watch season 8?
8.
I watched every single episode. It was really, only half of it was really that interesting, seriously, for me. But I I feel like it's going to be a chore to watch the last season, considering that they're going to have really long episodes.
But the 7th season was like good and actionate. Had a lot going on.
Okay, well then seasons 1 through 4 were pretty bad. Like, they weren't terrible. It wasn't agony or anything like that. They were bad enough to where I was complaining halfway through it.
Well, you have bad taste, so.
Yeah, that's true. But, no, I think that a lot of people have a lot to be excited for. If you haven't caught up, definitely do yourself a favor and go out and watch some YouTube video to catch yourself up and get
There's a bunch of them,
recaps. Yeah, because I forgot about a bunch of stuff and thought to myself, like, oh yeah, where'd that storyline go? Like, some storylines go nowhere. And they'll probably be wrapped up in the season 8.
So, just as we go into this, if you want to go watch a recap, go watch a recap. We're not going to recap it. But I did want to predict, who do you think will be on the throne, if anybody, at the end of the season?
Jon Snow?
I think that's everybody's pick. That Jon Snow won, because he's the heir to the throne.
I don't even know who that is.
Well, it depends what you consider a true heir. Because a Baratheon...
By blood.
Well, but yes, so the Targaryens, if you consider the Mad King as the last actual king, but the Mad King was killed by was killed by Jaime Lannister, and then a Baratheon was put on there. So if you believe
there are no more Baratheons,
Gendry.
Oh yeah,
Gendry is technically
but he's
the
a bastard.
Correct.
So,
but he's technically
a bastard can't hold the throne.
I think he can if there's no one else.
I don't think so.
I think so.
Well, either way, I think that a lot of people were saying, well, Targaryen's going to claim the throne, and that was going to be Daenerys.
Mm-hmm.
And now
it's technically Jon Snow, but he's a bastard too. Oh, no, he's not.
He's not.
He's not. They were married.
Yeah.
Yeah. Aegon Targaryen's his name, right?
Yeah, something like that. I don't remember. But, I mean, who knows? Maybe everybody's going to die, and maybe nobody takes the throne.
Exactly. Maybe the Night King takes the throne.
Yeah.
If you had a guess right now, who are you picking?
I'm hoping the Night King. Just put an end to it, man. Just put it out of its misery. Put a bullet in, or put a fork in it and call it done.
Becomes the Ice Throne.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Gendry.
Gendry, huh?
I think that all the shit's going to fall apart, and I feel like how little they talked about him, that this is going to be a season.
Oh, so you're putting your bet on, like, the person that they've least talked about?
Well, no, I think that it's got to be part of it, and they show multiple times that if you watch the first season and started the second, it's, like, super important and super hinted at that they try to kill all of the Baratheon's bastards, and they couldn't do it.
Huh.
Because when Arya leaves the city after her father's killed, the Lannisters chase down the people who are going to the Night's Watch and murder them all looking for a Baratheon. And they never got Gendry. He escaped and went and became like a blacksmith, and then obviously they picked him up in the most recent season.
Yeah, I guess I didn't really pay attention to that.
There's a scene in the first one where the Knights, or not the Night's Watch, but like the Royal Guard or whatever is murdering all these babies. Like they go into Littlefinger's like whorehouse and murder like these babies and stuff, and they're all of the Baratheon bastards.
Yeah.
And Gendry was the one who got away.
Damn. Well, if it is, then kudos to you, because I didn't see that coming. Did you come up with that by yourself?
I just knew who Gendry was, and I knew that he was like the Baratheon bastard.
Did you come up with that conclusion by yourself, though?
Yeah.
Nice.
Like, I think that he's going to take the throne. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's actually funny, if you go onto Reddit right now, there's a poll that goes to everybody, and it says who will take the Iron Throne, and you can actually pick, and when you pick, it automatically subscribes you to that subreddit, and I picked Gendry because that was Gendry, and so literally it's a private subreddit that only people who selected Gendry get to go to, and everyone's talking about how they think he's going to make it and stuff.
Huh.
But I knew about all that before I even picked Gendry.
So, well, yeah. Does it say like how many people have chose which?
No, it didn't. It showed how many selected mine. I think it was like 25,000 or something.
Our bastard, is that like a race?
No,
it's literally out of wedlock.
Yeah.
So if
children out of wedlock.
If you're a bastard and you basically, like if your dad had sex with a whore, how it works based on where you live, your last name becomes like, if you live in the Riverlands, you're literally like, you'd be John River. Because Jon Snow was born in the north, he's Jon Snow.
Or the west, you
can be John Sand, yeah.
Yeah.
And so where you're from as a bastard, you don't get your parents' last name, and you also don't get any claim to their throne or whatever.
Any of their, you're not an heir to anything.
Exactly. But technically, Jon Snow, what happened is Eddard Stark, which is kind of Jon Snow's, who we thought Jon Snow's dad was, his sister died in childbirth, and he said he'd take care of the baby, and the only way he could think to allow his wife, that his wife would take care of the baby, is if he said it was a bastard, not his sister's. And so technically, Jon Snow's a Targaryen, which is like the dragons.
Dude, I could start watching the new season.
Yeah, I've just caught you up on the whole thing.
I feel pretty caught up.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically it.
What time are you going to start watching at your house?
Wait, what was your question?
What time can I come over to watch?
I don't want you to.
I'll be there at 5.
Okay.
5. All right, well, hey, that was a good episode, boys. Do you have any shout-outs?
Yeah, shout out Katie for adding me on Instagram after 2 years of knowing her. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, Katie, shout out to you for adding Jacob as a friend on Instagram as a friend, or following Jacob. Shout out to Ben's mom. Shout out to Jacob's mom. Shout out to Javad. Shout out to Kooky Lukey. Shout out to Vanny.
Shout out to Katie for adding Jacob on Snapchat after 2 years.
Thanks.
Shout out to our Patreon subscribers, including this guy right here to my left, Jacob. Kat.
I wish
Linda.
I knew how to turn that off, but...
Yeah. Kat, Linda, and Robbie, thank you, everyone. It was great being here, and have a great day. Goodbye.
Jacob,
what do you have to say?